Yowie wowie! Welcome to Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern, episode 100 and something I can't even remember. I'm Jamie, and this week I am joined by MPV Graham. How are you?
Hello. Very confused. That sound reads backwards.
Yeah, come out backwards. But it's all good. Yeah, we've also got Millie Mandy in 1.5 Millie Mandy in. Sorry.
Hello.
Oh,
Let me in.
Ross.
You know you've got to mirror the camera to get things to be able to read. See, look, you notice how my T-shirt says Rafa the way it's meant to say
Now
Rafa.
how mine says achievement unlocked.
Yeah,
Why-
see how
why
like
would
this
I
you
do
can
that?
descriptively
Why would I do
read.
that,
It's look at it like it's like
Mine is written in Bulgarian.
I'm
Shit all
guessing
over my
this is. I'm guessing this is something to do with Wyatt, but
It
I
is
actually
indeed, it
can't
was.
fucking tell.
It
Try
was
that
indeed
again.
something
Wanna
to
try?
do with Bray Wyatt. I'll try again later on. But that was my little tribute to him. R.I.P. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. We could talk about that maybe on an after dark at some point. But this is indeed, as I said, in case I deafened you when I shouted at the beginning, Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern episode 100, and where are we up to now?
30th.
Of which we
Birthday
record every
special.
Sunday at 8 p.m.
Yes!
Yowie indeed. That was wonderful. Right. I don't know if you guys have heard the news, apart from obviously the sad news of Bray Wyatt's passing. There's some. We're going to keep things positive though. We're going to talk about a certain little video game that's come out this week that people have been waiting for I don't know what, all their life. Perhaps Ross. You know, you're quite a lot younger than I am, so it might be very much. I think they pretty much concepted it when you were a wee babby.
Hey, I was
It's here.
9, 25
see,
years since we did the making.
not
Sorry.
bad. So we're going to talk about Starfield, probably for the majority of the show, I imagine. Hopefully we'll get to one or two other things, some games and project. We've got an update on Project Game Pass, the FIFA tournament going on. Is now concluded, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. We'll start off with the big topic.
Well, concluded.
Well, concluded with an asterisk, a big star, next to it, perhaps a field of stars next to it. So yes, Starfield is it's not out yet. It's out on Wednesday, the 6th of September. I don't know what else is happening on 6th of September. Strikes me as a really great date. I don't know what it is. Something
That's today. That is.
something
Someone
else
turned
magnificent
60.
is happening. I'm not sure what
Some
it is,
old
but
git.
we'll figure out. Oh, by the way, Ian, happy birthday for today. Not
Thank you.
not entirely unrelated. Happy 45th, is it this week?
I'm not not old as you.
I know.
Well,
I
I'm
know.
the baby of the group.
I know you're the
Not
the
so
baby of our group.
Yeah.
Of our group, not of this.
Not of
Scottish
Xbox
group.
Tavern's Xbox Tavern. But yes, happy birthday. We're going to talk about Starfield. Ross, I feel like it's only fair.
Do you want to
start
set me
with
off first? Do you want to get a word in edgeways?
I feel like it's only fair to start with you because we need. I can. The camera's like vibrating with excitement, so we need to.
Death's going to start shaking in a minute.
At least so we don't, explode into a million tiny chunks.
I'm just going to say early game of the year.
Ian, let's get Ross. I don't think Ross is going to have the same opinion, so let's just let him get his stuff out. Ross, do you want to tell us about your impressions of Starfield so far? Obviously, we got the early access. You got the early access. When did you start playing it? When did you stop playing it? How far have you played, etc., etc.?
We'll start off on a negative.
Negative?
Yes. So at 1 a.m. At 1 a.m. when the game was launched, nobody could get in it. The game went, what, Ian, would you say maybe 20 past 1, 25 past 1? Roughly?
Yeah, about that. 1:15-ish.
Before we could actually get into the game. Every time you sort of tried to click into it, it would say that you don't own the game. And then when you would go into your menu to try and see like what the fuck was happening, it would pop up saying that the game wasn't installed. So you would try and reinstall it, and then it would zoom up to 100% saying it was ready to roll. You'd try it again, still nothing working. And eventually, after just like constantly hitting A just to try and keep it sort of ticking over, it eventually started 20 minutes after roughly when it was meant to start. So that was a bit of a fucking
Yep. 22 past. I got in. I was looking at the chat.
so that was a bit of a fear, considering, especially for the fact that 1 o'clock seemed like a weird time to launch it. Like usually, obviously, you always talk about midnight launches, and then next thing you know, it's fucking 1 o'clock, and it doesn't even start to 20 past 1 was a bit annoying. But apart from
I
that,
think they were trying to do it for everyone at the same time, weren't they? So it wasn't like it was staggered, as it were, rather than being like 1 o'clock for you, or 1 o'clock for you, or 1 o'clock for you.
That's that is so far the only negative I have to say about the game. I will hold my hands up. I have seen quite a few people, namely special guest Pete, having a few little sort of glitches, bug type ideas with like weird things moving and stuff like that. I'm 30 hours into the game, and touch wood, the worst I've had is when you're talking to somebody and like it pans to your companion and like the companion's behind the wall, so you can't see them or things like that. But that has been the only.
Or they're giving it some of this. Hi, yes, I need you.
Yeah, I've had that.
In fairness, that's not completely unrealistic, because like if you're standing to the side of me, like why do I need to turn my whole body around just to face you if I'm like watching?
That's all right to start with, but after a 5-minute conversation, they're still sitting.
Doing this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, cool. How are you today? Yeah.
But I've had a couple of times where like your companion like sort of puts her 2 pennies worth into the conversation, and like they're behind the wall so you can't see them. But apart from that, that's like the only bug that I've seen, which, given we're a Bethesda game, is saying something.
I mean,
One of the
It's not bad going, is it?
the companion does simp on you quite a bit, though.
Maybe I'm just naive. Maybe I'm just fucking blissfully unaware of her advances. But like, she barely fucking like acknowledges my existence. Maybe it's because I'm like a space scoundrel. So she just
have you changed your companion, or you still got Sarah?
I've still got Sarah, which there'll be reasons for that. I have never seen a world in a game so fleshed out in regards to stuff to do. As I was saying to the lads before I started the show, I'm level 20, 22, 23, 30 hours into the game, and I've done 1 story mission. I've signed up for the Constellation, and that's it. The rest of the time has been scavenging, shipbuilding, doing different faction works, doing bounties, resource mining, trying to like complete the planets. So all the different resources, all the different sort of wildlife, plant life. Yeah, I've, like I say, barely any time in the story, and I'm already 30 hours into the game.
Nice. You were like, Sarah Morgan, I like your cut of your jib. Bye.
Bye. Fuck off.
Not
See ya.
interested. So you said you put about 30 hours in, right?
Yeah.
So in terms, you said you're obviously just doing a load of side missions. Are you bouncing around the galaxy, or do you know the area, or are you sticking to the first areas?
I'm sort of I'm all over the galaxy. So I've spent quite a lot of time in the UC, so the United Colonies airspace. I've been to the areas that are controlled by the Freehold Collective, which is one of the other factions that you can sort of go along into. I've dealt with some of the sort of criminal like faction type ideas as well. So it's not just been limited to like sort of the area where New Atlantis is and all the stuff in and around that area. I've traversed quite a fair bit of the galaxy. I've done plenty of like dogfights and stuff like that as well. So
nice. And so you're getting obsessed with the side missions. We can talk more about the missions when the other guys jump in a second. But how are you finding like the flow of the gameplay? Not just like going from mission to mission, but finding the missions, in the actual stuff that you're doing on said missions. The gunplay, the traversal, the
gunplay's fantastic. Traversal's brilliant. I really like the fact that you've got your different gravities based on different planets. Because if you utilize it right, gravity can be fantastic for combat. If you can once you build up your oxygen level, so you can sprint for quite a bit. If you then like come off the edge of a cliff in like a low gravity and you've got the boost pack on, you can sort of like traverse quite a distance using your sort of boost pack, and it allows you to sort of like get the high ground over the top of like enemies that are maybe in a building area or up on like the roof type idea, so you can go over the top of them, get a couple of headshots, and then sort of drop in behind them. So it's quite good that you can utilize it for combat. But then on the other side, there's been certain planets I've been on where like it's double gravity, so every time you try and jump, you sort of like jump and just hit the ground again.
Yep.
So you can't use that as much. So even things not so much to do with like player, human interactions, but when you come up against some of the wildlife that you have to fight, or one of the other enemies that are in the game, not wanting to give too much away, they like one of the best ways to avoid them is by using the gravity and jumping away from them. So if you come across some of them on a planet where gravity is like double what it would normally be, you sort of find yourself really struggling because you can't really get away from them.
Fair enough. And so, yeah, you've explored many planets, obviously. Have you attempted to? I don't know whether it's considered a spoiler or not. Have you attempted to go home? Should we say to the wonderful planet known as Earth?
No, not yet. I've only been to one planet in our solar system, and that's Mars, because it's pretty much like the first place you have to go to.
Yeah.
Feeling that I've not been anywhere else, because I know like one of the other missions asked you to go to Venus, and that was like 3 hours into the game, and I've still not fucking ended up back in our solar system.
Fair enough. Yeah, I was surprised at the sort of the way you get between. I know I wasn't expecting to fly between, obviously, because we haven't got a lifetime. But it literally is just like mini map hopping in it. Like pick a selection. Here you go. Right.
It doesn't have to be. So, and this is something. And again, it's one of these things where are you looking at convenience or are you looking at like realism? Because if you get to say our solar system and you fast travel to Mars, one of the places you want to go to, but you end up wanting to go to Pluto, you can fly directly from Mars to Pluto. There's nothing stopping you from doing it. It'll take 7 hours. Alana Pierce, I don't know who she's affiliated with now. I know she used to be IGN, but
she works at Sony Santa Monica.
Sony Santa Monica. Oh, there you go, Sony fanboy. She's done it on stream, flying from Mars to Pluto, and it took 7 in like real life hours. So there's no restrictions for you to do it if you want to do it. It just doesn't make sense to do it.
Yeah, well, yeah. Why would you waste all that time when you can just?
But it's people who are saying that it should be more convenient. Well, do you want convenience or do you want realism? Because there's nothing stopping you flying through space, going as close to the planets as you want, getting beautiful panoramics, you passing past all the different moons of Saturn and things like that. But why would you want to? Just because it's not convenient for you doesn't mean you can't do it.
Yeah, well, I saw a clip of some Belwith complaining because they couldn't drive into the sun.
Well, in fairness,
What did you call them? A Belwith?
Yeah.
I like that. Right, carry on. Sorry.
It's a bit weird one, yeah. No.
But yeah, it's just
But Graham, you can only go so far when you land on a planet.
Exactly.
No, all right, but we'll address that one quickly. Has anybody here had any problem with that so far? Have you landed and gone, do you know what? I can't walk far enough.
No.
If anything, more things keep revealing themselves. I'm like, I found all the landmarks, and then I go to the map and go, unknown. Oh, there's more.
Yes.
To get over that side. Yeah.
I don't want to walk any further. Good. So, Ross, I think it's fairly safe to say we'll get the other guys in, but you're enjoying it somewhat so far.
Fucking loving it.
It's been well worth the wait of 25 odd years of them going, we should make a space game, perhaps.
It is. Yeah, I am. I'm loving it. I think the part that is going to be my biggest nemesis, not because of the fact that it's not fantastic, it's just fucking difficult to do, is the shipbuilding.
Have you had any experience with that yet? Or?
So I've got 3 ships.
Which ones you got?
I've got your Frontier that you start off with. I've got the one that's name I can't remember. It's you get it from the. I don't want to go into too much detail. I've got one that you find on a planet that you can get that's meant to be a little bit of an Easter egg. And then I got one from a space battle. I boarded it and sort of commandeered it.
Interesting. That's something I haven't even remotely tried yet, but we'll move on to one of the other lads very quickly. Has anybody else tried space battling or space boarding?
Yes,
actually?
I've done. Yeah, it's all right. It took me a while, to me ages to realise to press A and then X to fucking dock into a place.
It tells you.
Yeah,
you
I
have to get within like
forgot.
500 whatever thingies to get to do it.
Yeah, I forgot. So I kept trying to scan it. I was like, "What the fuck am I doing?" And I was like, "Oh, you press A and then X to dock and hail it and dock." But yeah, I've had a few space battles. I haven't managed to like commandeer any planes. I keep fucking blowing them up instead.
Well, what it is so there's with the commandeering, you can't use your standard weapons. You have to use the I can't remember what they're called. Electromagnetic weapons, and basically it doesn't do a lot of damage. It basically just done like that. It takes their shields down, makes them sort of like can short out their jump drive so they can't get away from you and stuff like that, and then you can get a bit closer and try and get board them in the ship.
Oh, okay, that's why. Yeah, because every time I just come in, I kept blowing them up. I was like, I can destroy their grav so they can't go anywhere, and then I can destroy their shields, but they always just explode. But that's good to know.
There's one of the perks that or abilities you get that gives you the ability to zoom, and in that zoom bit you can select which part of the ship you want to aim at. And so you have to pummel the engines to sort of.
I heard about pummeling engine. I was like, but how do I fuck?
But that's how you do it. Yeah.
Okay, I need to look into the settings then to see if I can do that.
Yeah, it's one of the top ones. So just one skill point in the top bit on the far right tech, I think it is, allows you to sort of target what parts of the ship you want to aim at.
Happy days. Cheers for that. I'll look into that bit.
In fact, I'll be generous. I'll put out another negative. It's not a negative as such. I just forget about it. That you can't just level up a skill.
Oh, you have
to have a skill point to level up, but you also have to have done a certain criteria to do the leveling up as well. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake!
I quite like that. It's quite a bit of fun.
It's just like annoying wee ones. So like,
you got to do work for your levels. Oh, sorry, Joss.
It's not that. It's the forget. It's the forgetting part of it. So like,
boards are over again. What's going on?
It's upgrading your upgrading how much oxygen you have. For example, you need to run till you get into the red, and then you need to get the red all the way right to the very end and max the CO2, and that counts as like one level of exhaustion, which is fine until you get to like level 3 of that trait, and you need to exhaust yourself 100 times. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake, I don't sprint that many places.
But over the course of the game, you'll get that, and then you won't need to worry about that too much.
Well, but it's just the fact that it's the more forgetting
that's such
part
a
of
petty moan, that is.
Shut up, bitch.
Oh, God.
And I thought he liked the game.
Yeah, I've got to do extra work for my levels. Oh. Right, PS fanboy, calm down.
All right, before we devolve into name calling and bitching about stuff, we've got. Is this your gameplay playing, Ross?
Yes, this is what I sort of put out the first wee part just as the game launched. So I thought I would get like a wee live stream so that we had a wee bit of momentum on the channel from it. Just basically going through the character select screen, I went through sort of every option so you can see just how in depth it is. Obviously, I didn't click into the like refine and start molding your face and stuff like that. But this is a rough idea just how much level of detail you can go into to customize your character.
Did you literally just go through all the options, or was this your character we're seeing here built? Like,
so I went through all the options. So like I didn't put myself with like nose rings, but I clicked through every single thing to let people see exactly what it was, and then whatever I put in at the end is what my character sort of looks like at the end.
Fair enough. And how long did it take you to settle on a design? It's been going a lot longer than I'd spent on it already.
The thing is, like with character creations, especially in this sort of game where I play it primarily in first person, I don't really see myself. So I do the sort of basics: hair, fucking stubble, eye color. Like I don't go any like massive depth in regards to like piercings, tattoos, like blotches all over the skin, shaping the ears, shaping the nose, shaping the chin. Just get a rough looking sort of idea of a character and then into the game. Fair
enough. I mean, I like you. I was starting to make my guy. what's the point? I'm never ever going to look at his face.
Yeah,
I'm
and that's the
never
thing.
going
And
to play a third person, and I'm never going to turn a camera around. So
it's even for the fact of like when you're in cutscenes, it doesn't pan back to you. It's not like Fallout 4 where you had voice actors, so like the camera swung back round to look at you. When you're in the cutscenes, it's just like New Vegas. You look at the person, and they
right.
sort of speak to you or speak to your companion and things like that. So how you look's not a massive thing in a game like this.
Yeah, that's true. But they put a lot of detail into it. Obviously, Graham,
Yeah.
you made your character. Did you spend much time, or did you just go random? Yeah, that'll do.
Probably about 15 minutes. I was only because my girls were helping me pick out what kind of looked like me, and they were just having a bit of a giggle because of the different hairstyles and stuff. But it's probably looks about 20% like me. Like the best that you can do. When you get into the certain face bits, you can really go different on the different scales of jawline and intensity. I was like, I said that's a bit too deep. It's like close enough is sufficient, but yeah, I mean, it's good that you
It looks like Graham.
options.
Ish.
But yeah, about 15 minutes. I don't want to linger too much. I think I spent more time personally myself just working at the background kind of thing because they looked a bit more interesting to try and sort of decide how you're going to be or what you want to aim for. So
we'll come back to the traits in a second. Ian, your character, did you just find the black man option? Be like, done.
Slightly
Done
racist.
and done.
That's what you always. That's what you always say. That I could be a black man. I'm happy.
Slowly accurate. Yeah, I went for one of the main ones at the beginning. Like he's black, and I just edited the black man to a bit like me. And then it was good fun. I don't know if I didn't do enough of looking, but I couldn't find someone with glasses, which upset me a bit. But
The glasses aren't an option because I couldn't find one either.
yeah, that's the only thing. That's the criticism. Us blind people need glasses.
Maybe the
100 years in the future, everyone's
I was
got
going to say
perfect eyes.
I was going to say they've all got like fucking ocular implant,
That's
ocular.
it.
So you're all just fucking perfect vision.
20/20 vision. I'm wearing contacts permanently. That's how I see it in my head. But yeah, I went through it quite a bit. Like I say, I more spent time on the background than traits.
Yeah, that was what I was more sort of looking forward to getting into. Like,
Right, well, let's get into that right now, then, shall we, gentlemen? Let's get into that. You notice I'm sort of passing over myself here. I haven't really spent much time with it, so I'm going to keep
it's
asking
fucking disgusting.
What have you done?
It's
Have you actually
absolutely
played it yet?
disgusting.
I've played it a little. We'll get into that in a bit, but I want to hear what you lot say because you all played it a lot more than I have. Ross,
What have
backgrounds,
you done,
traits,
Jamie? Let's say what you've done.
whatever they're
What have you
called.
done, Jamie?
Yeah, let's see what you've done first, Jay.
Jamie, come on, don't
what, my
pass the
character?
buck. What have you
Fuck
done?
all. I gave him pink hair and a blue beard. That's all I remember. And then I was like, yeah, that looks all right. I don't even
traits
remember
did you go
what
for?
traits I picked. I know I picked the adore and fan one because that's got to be done. That's hilarious. The parents one, and there was one where it was like you're representative of a house of. There's two houses you can be. I've picked one or the other. I forget which one.
That's religion,
It'll come up on the screen. That's I picked that stuff, and I think on this bit here I picked whichever one had the stealth one on it. I don't remember the name of it now.
There's a few that's got stealth on it.
It had stealth and melee specialities as well as.
Is that not the Ronin?
Ronin? That's the one. Yeah. Thank you.
I was solely tempted for Ronin. I was like, oh.
Yeah, but again, I spent a bit of time looking at this, and I scrolled through and read them all. I haven't even played the game. I don't know what I want to do yet, so I just picked the one that sounded most appealing. And I haven't really played that in that style whatsoever. So, Ross, you've played obviously a lot more. What did you go for? What perks did you go for? Are you sticking to your role play, or are you just going in gung ho regardless?
I have went. I'm trying to think. My background, I went space scoundrel, so blurs the lines between sort of right and wrong, walks the sort of grey path. I'm desperately trying to remember what I put for my traits. I had the kid one where you get to go with your parents.
Yeah, I had that one.
I had
that one, adoring fan, and the one where you get your own house.
Oh, I didn't get one where you get your own house.
Yes.
Didn't realise it was one. I have my own house now, but I didn't realise it was one you got an own house.
I was tempted with that one, but then I thought I could give money to my parents, and I'd have to spend money on a house. Nah.
Yeah, that's.
Happening.
What was my other one? The other one was I was a UC. Like I was like a UC resident type idea. So like I've got certain options when I speak to people, like if they're in the military or if they're part of the UC, I can like use that as like speech option to like get past things or get more information about certain things to do with missions.
Yeah.
And then for life, I cannot remember what my third one was. I want to say it was like, no, like, I can't remember. It was somewhere downside. Oh no, it was I was an empath, so I could like manipulate people in conversations a lot better. But I can't remember what the downside to it was. There was a downside to it.
Yeah,
Space Scoundrels what I ended up on.
One of the ones that's got where you can do that, but if you cock it up, then it's like 10 times worse. And if you can empathize with people or to get them on your side, but if you mess up the skill check, then they become even more upset with you or something like that.
Maybe there'll be something along those lines. I was tempted to do the file not found just because I liked the starting skills that I had. But then I was like, it feels like a bit of a cop out. It feels just like basic bitch, doesn't it? Like you've not got you don't excel in any one thing. You just exist.
Yeah, not dark and mysterious, just bland.
Yeah. Cyber Runner, was that the one that you went for, Jay? That one's stealth.
No, it was definitely the Ronin one. Yeah,
Ronin?
As soon as you said it, yeah.
I went industrial list. My one was.
And Graham, what about yourself?
I picked the Dorian fan just because I needed him by my side, and then I picked Explorer, and I think I did pick Diplomat as well, which had the empath kind of part of it. I was trying to be a bit more controlled rather than super gung ho, but I just wanted to avoid every stealth option I could.
Yeah, I do quite like how much you can talk out of them. Yeah, empath, UC native, and kid stuff. That was 3. Now that I see them, that was the 3 that I picked.
Nice. And so obviously, again, you probably played the most out of all of us. Have you found that they've actually affected your dialogue stuff and that so far?
Yes, massively.
Yeah. And
obviously the kid stuff, not as much. You do get to see your parents quite often. They pop up quite a wee bit in the first wee part that I've played.
I was going to say, have you been to visit them? I got the mission pop up, but I haven't gone to
visit them.
I've seen them,
seen them. Did try and convince them to move out their house because they take 2% off your money every so often to like fund your parents. So I was like, see if you move somewhere a wee bit cheaper, I might not have to pay as much.
Yeah. And they're like, fuck you, we wiped your ass when you were a baby.
Exactly. What the fucker. But definitely like the UC native, as I was saying, especially for the fact that like the 3-star collective settler would work as well. Same with like your Serpent's Embrace, anything that's to do with like the faction works really well because it allows you to get past certain parts of their missions a lot easier.
Yeah, I think that's why I think it was Serpent's Embrace I went for in the end.
So that's the Great Serpent. So that is the House of Varun, I'm sure is what their name is. They worship the Great Serpent.
Yeah.
I wanted to avoid all kind of stuff, like all the worshipping kind of stuff. So that's my kind of basic stuff. Because I felt like even with the ones like the Empath one, it's like combat. It's like, well, I'm still gonna be overpowered anyway. So I didn't really think much of it. So I was waiting for stuff that would be quite fun, like the hero worshiper is hilarious. And obviously having a daddy and mummy's nice. And having my own house is nice.
Yeah, nice. So what, that house when you pick, where is that? Is that in the first place you land? Or
no, it's on a random planet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not on the same.
I'm glad I didn't pick that one then.
Yeah, it's on a different planet. It's still a nice house, but got to pay for it. I haven't paid it off yet.
125,000 that is.
Yeah,
your mortgage.
But I'm pretty much like on around that figure anyway, so I could really pay it off if I really wanted to. I'm on like 160.
How have you got so much credits?
I was about to say it didn't sound like a lot, but I'm not getting credits very fast. Granted, I've not played very much, but
I'm in Ian's, but I've not got about that much as well.
Yeah, you just pick everything you collect and then just sell it.
In fairness, I've barely sold anything. Like
you just keep collecting and then sell, and then you just obviously And what I like about this game is you can't get encumbered really because obviously all you do is really slow down, but you can still run really fast.
Yeah, but if you
run too much, your health goes down. But then all you need to do is either sleep in a bed and you get back to 100%, or just don't run as fast. Or med pack, So Rallitor kept doing that because I like that. So just fucking not hoard everything, but literally just pick up everything up. Especially when you're killing enemies, just loot all their gun, loot all their armor, and then just sell it when you get.
Yeah, see, that's what I've not been doing. I've not focused so much. Like I've found the guns, the armor, and things like that I like. But like resources, for example, is everything is just like thrown into my cargo hold for building ships or research purposes and things like that. My ship just now looks like an inappropriate appendage, shall we say.
Yeah.
It's got like massive turbos
No,
at
see,
the
you're doing
back,
it wrong.
and then it's like that fucking long just cargo holds for like back to front. I think I've got like two and a bit thousand cargo that I can carry, just because
nice.
I've hoarded every single resource that I can.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I need that.
Listen-
I've already filled mine up, but I've only got about 450 in my cargo.
Yeah.
You spend some of that cash, Creamer. Get it bolstered up.
No, I need to find another ship. I did find another ship, but I didn't steal it properly, so I've still only got my own ship.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to make it my
really
home
cool.
ship. Now, what happened? I don't know how you sort of bought like have more than one ship, or how you manage your whole fleet.
Yeah, see, I got this really cool ship because when I was again, I like to loot everything. One of these guards had like a loot where to go to like this underground station kind of thing. On
Good
the planet.
man. Good
And-
man.
So I did that, and I got that ship from there. And some armor.
Mantis.
Yeah, the Mantis armor, and I think it's Razor Leaf.
Razor Leaf, yep.
Yeah, that ship, and I get that, and that's mine. That's been my baby.
Yeah, Razor Leaf's my main ship just now.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you've been looting like I have, you will have a note that says to go find this underground base and just follow that mission.
It's basically it's an Easter egg for Batman.
Oh, is
If you listen to all the voice notes and things like this, like passing on the mantle, and then obviously like when you go to the area, it's meant to like imitate the Batcave type idea.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
One over Ian's head.
Yeah, I was like, oh, cool, stop.
But back to your point, great. So, see when you land on New Atlantis, like when you first go to Space Talk, there's like a trade inventory computer. See
Yeah.
the guy standing next to him.
Yeah.
Speak to him, and he'll show you like all the ships that you own,
Right.
and then you can go in and then start editing them. If once you're finished doing your fencing lessons.
Daddy
You-
Longlegs started me.
Speak to him, and then he'll give you a breakdown of every ship that you've got. You can buy new ships from him as well, and then that's where you can also like add parts to your ship or change parts out and stuff like that as well.
I've upgraded my ship. I just haven't managed to accrue another one yet.
Yeah. So once you accrue them, speak to him, and he'll let you run through all your fleet.
Yeah. I need it because I've got more people to assign to a ship, but I haven't got enough ship space to
So-
house them all.
That's another thing I've not done, and again, it's because I've not really focused on it that much. So I've got my main companion and 2 other people on board my ship at the moment. Obviously, I know that there's 100 other people that I can recruit, but I've not really come across them in regards to the fact that I've not done a lot of the main story. I've also not built an outpost yet. So has anybody done that?
Yeah, by accident.
I've tried to build an outpost, and then I got angry at building the outpost, so I just shoved 2 people there. I went, "That's it, that'll do." And just left.
Yeah, no, I've still not even looked at doing that yet.
Yeah, I got
It's like
annoyed.
base building, like in Fallout 76, a little bit.
Yeah.
I stuck an outpost down because it says it helps you with your scanning ability. Because one of the missions was survey the whole planet.
Yeah.
So I stuck it down. I was like, well, this hasn't helped me at all. And I was
That
like-
mission is a bastard.
And then it said, oh, you can harvest things. I was like, oh, okay, build a harvester. You haven't got enough energy. Oh, build some energy things. And I was like, oh, now I'm harvesting iron. It's probably the weakest thing to bloody harvest, but
Yeah,
I'm harvesting some iron.
I've found a couple of
It's
random
not
ones
complicated.
around this in this one of the later on like level planets. Again, they like want you to kind of like pay for them to come on the ship. I was like, I'm not paying you.
Yeah, well, I've paid for the people that I've got on my ship.
No, mine are the actual
Companion type ideas.
companions class.
Yeah, see, I've only met the robot and Sarah, and that's it.
How the fuck have you only met them? Oh, I'm not even going to argue with you.
That's
He literally said it 55
Yeah, I
times.
know.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything.
not done anything. I literally
What the fuck have you been doing?
joined the constellation, and then I went to the opposite end of the fucking galaxy and just done the missions from the outskirts, working my way back in.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit of fun. Like I've done a few main missions, not all of them, but a lot of them. We're doing these side missions and trying to hoard ships, but again, I'll keep blowing them up instead. So,
But it's like, so you know how you've got like when you go into the missions banner, you've got the main mission type idea, like your story missions, and then you've got like main missions. And then I can't remember what the other two
Activities.
activities, and then there's another one as well that's like
Miscellaneous. So.
no, yeah. Basically, you've got your main story, your faction stories, then random missions, and then like your scan and find missions and bounties and stuff like that. I've done tons in the other three, just nothing in the actual main story.
Yeah, okay.
So it sounds like you're all fucking smashing along nicely with it. I found a crew member in a bar somewhere, and I just was talking to him, and he was like, "Hey, you need a crewmate? I'll come and join your team." And he was like, "He wanted 7,000 credits or whatever."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That sounds like too high of a price." And I did the little conversation mini game,
Yeah.
which was that in Fallout at all? I don't remember that.
New
being-
Vegas.
It was definitely in Oblivion.
It was in New Vegas as well.
Because I was like, oh, okay.
And it
It's in
was
New Vegas.
it was in 4 to an extent. Like the color options changed color based on how likely you were to succeed on them.
Yeah. Okay. So I wasn't sure if it was just because I remember it definitely being in Oblivion with the little coloured wheel. You had to
Yeah.
sort of get the right options and stuff. I managed to talk him down to taking half the price,
Oh,
which was
yeah.
all right. And then I gave him chucked him a load of money, and now he's just standing on my ship. I don't really know what he does. He just stood by the table. I'm sure he'll come in useful at some point, but
You rotate him,
moment
Jay.
it's like,
You look
yeah,
at his
whatever.
skills, and then you take him with you if you find he's going to be useful.
Yeah.
Oh, I looked at his skills, and I was
there's
like,
some that benefit the
all right.
ship. That's something I found one random in I think the same bar, but on a different planet, and it was like you give me no benefit to your skills whatsoever. So I was like, I'm not going to use you.
Yeah,
you
you
seem
can
like a friendly
fuck
fellow.
off.
Something about ballistics. So I was like, yeah, that probably come in handy at some point. I
Yeah.
imagine you'll do.
Got to shoot
do.
something, so that'll
Yeah.
work.
But then I've avoided space combat pretty much, apart from the one mission where you had to do it, like in the almost opening section. I've just avoided it completely so far. So we'll worry about that when we get to it. So obviously, massive, expansive universe. I get a bit. I mean, I know I'm old. We don't need to go over this again. But I found myself a little bit overwhelmed to start with. Because I sort of landed
That'll
in
happen. That'll happen. It
Is
happens
it
to
New
everybody,
Atlantis?
Jay.
It's all right.
Trying to bring in new things. It gets
And
more
I
difficult as you get
sort
older.
of landed. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And I started walking around, and there were some people having a conversation. So I listened in, and I got a mission from there, and I got a mission from someone else. Got a mission, and I was like, where the fuck am I going? What's the one I'm supposed to be following? So I followed. Like I said, I've done a few. I've ended up on Mars at the minute, sort of doing a few side missions there. One of which pissed me off, which I won't. I don't know. Has anyone done anything to do with the heart of Mars yet? Then I shall avoid spoiling that, but it pissed me off quite a lot, to be quite honest with you.
Is there a side mission then? Because I don't.
Yeah, no, it's a side mission. Yeah, it's just
Yeah, I was
one
going to
Okay.
say.
with someone there. But I think opposite probably all of you, I started off and I was a bit like, oh, I'm not really sure about this. I'm getting Fallout vibes. Like as we've discussed before, I'm more of an Elder Scrolls person than a Fallout person. And I was like, oh, I'm not really feeling this. But the more I sort of spent, well, again, granted, I've not spent many hours in it, but every time I found a new side mission, I was like, actually, this might be right. I'll do that. And I found another one. And then I started to get into that sort of Bethesda mindset. And then inevitably, because I'm old, I'd fall asleep. And then I haven't played at all today because I've been out at theme park all day. So not a chance. But I'm quite excited to get back to it once we're finished here, though. So let's steamroll on. Ross, more thoughts and opinions on Starfield. Anything? What's one particular thing that's sort of standing out to you so far? From what we've discussed, or something we haven't mentioned yet, perhaps? What's that thing that's hooking you in?
Just everything. Like the planets are beautiful. The gunplay, I'm surprised at gunplay. I'm really enjoying that. Like the difference in regards to how they sound. I know that's a trivial thing for some people, but like I want to pick up a hand cannon, and when I fire a shot, it reverberates through the whole building type idea. Like you want to feel the sort of like power that comes from the gun. The variety of guns, I quite like that as well. There's loads of different ones that I've came across. The customization of like the suits and things like that. So how many different options you've got for different suits and things like that for your stats. I can't comment too much on the characters because I've not really came across anybody
You've
yet.
got hi. Go on.
Pretty much, I've not really. So that's like I can comment on people that I've had to deal with story wise, but not companions as such.
Yeah.
The two factions that I'm working for just now. All I would say, Grey, is don't go to one of the company kiosks on the first planet.
Why?
Because their whole storyline, as far as I can see, because I've done other missions,
Stealth.
all stealth based. It's all to do with corporate espionage.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I've started this one. I haven't done
Hello. Okay, I need
Yeah.
to get back into this then.
Avoid them like the plague, Grey.
Oh,
You
no, I'm
fucking
going.
hate.
Fuck yes. There we go.
Ian, I'll give you to this point. Their operatives for this company get anti-detection suits, so that'll give you the level of idea what they have to do for their stealth. So Grey, avoid it like the plague. The storyline for the UC, is it the UC? I get mixed up. It's one of the missions
It happens.
Yeah, one of the stories that branch off the UC is to do with an enemy that's part of the lore of this game, and that storyline is fucking incredible. And some of the things you need to go up against.
Yeah.
Wow. But no, just like I say, I'm 30 hours into the game, and I've signed up for the starting mission. And that's it. If that doesn't tell you all you need to know about what you can get up to in this game, then like it's completely consumed me. I mean, I started at 1:20 or whenever it was Friday morning. I played to 5:30. I slept for 2 hours. I started again at 7:30. I never came off at Friday. I went to bed at like 2 a.m. on Saturday. I was up again at 8. It's consumed me just for the fact of I want to go to all the different planets. I want to find all the different enemies that you have to come up against. I want to discover. Like I've not so part of the perks thing is there's 2 different religions that are in the game. I've not met anybody for any of the 2 religions yet. So I now need to go and hunt them down to find out what they offer.
Yeah, I met one in a prison cell somewhere on the first area, and I had a chat with her, but she was not very forthcoming to my advances. So
yeah, so
didn't really get involved with that.
I don't think even 30 hours in, I've scraped the surface of this game.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously we haven't got a review up yet. MPV Graham's going to be taking care of the duties on that.
Great, good man. Take one for the team there.
Yeah,
but I have been sort of reading and listening to a lot of people's opinions and stuff, and I won't go into specifics on each person's one and what have you, because each to their own. But I think some people seem to be saying, take your time, enjoy it, like Ross is doing. Go at your own pace, do what you want to do. Others are saying, make sure you rush through the story and get to the end, and then New Game Plus. No one says what New Game Plus is, and I haven't seen anything. I don't know if you guys have or not. But it's supposed to be a very enjoyable way of doing it. Ross at the back of the class here.
Spoiler. I'll put big spoilers out, so if nobody wants to know about this, or even in here doesn't want to listen, there is a spoiler coming. The benefit in New Game Plus is what a lot of people want from a New Game Plus. You don't play the main story. So you fly through the story in the main game, and then after that, once you start New Game Plus, you don't have to worry about doing anything else. You literally just go and explore, go and do your side missions, go and do whatever the hell you want to do. But that's what the big new caveat is, because I know games like Borderlands and things like that, where you have to complete the game and then you go through like true Vault Hunter mode and then you go through ultimate Vault Hunter mode. I don't want to have to play the main campaign again to get through the game as such. So fair play to them for putting it in, but I don't think I could play a game just mainline in the main story and then coming back. I want to encapsulate the full thing.
Yeah, I'm exactly like you. I can't imagine getting to the end, get rolling credits as it were, and then be like, you know what, I'm going to spend another 100 hours playing this now. That sort of defeats the object for me.
That's me. Once I've done the main, I'm like, okay, that's it, I'm done.
Not even so much that I don't want to play the main. Like, not even so much that like once I've put that amount of hours it's in, it's just that's not why I buy a game like, or any Bethesda game or CD Projekt Red game or any type of game where you are engulfed in a massive RPG world. I don't play it just to only like some of the best things about like The Witcher, for example, is the side quests. Like they've got some of the best side quests in any game ever made. I get that I would get to play it the second time round, but why do I not just enjoy it as I discover it?
Yeah, exactly. Like Skyrim again, going way back, obviously. The main missions in that for me were like, oh, I better do a main mission to get a bit further on, and then right, I ignore that for another 50 hours. Now I'll go and do every other quest, all the guild quests, and all these side quests and stuff, and that's what I enjoy about the Bethesda games. So I'm probably going to do pretty much what you're doing once I get into it properly, hopefully over the next couple of weeks. Graham, what about yourself? Obviously, you just come out of, was it Fallout 76, where you sunk yourself right into that one.
Yeah.
How are you approaching Starfield in terms of playing through it?
Probably a similar thing that I've done with most of the others. So usually you kind of get a gist of when you're right towards the end of the main mission piece. So if that's your opportunity to fill out everything else, go start fill your boots, do all the other kind of side stuff before you just finish off that final sort of main part of the end. I don't really get. I mean, obviously the new plus is just a way to kind of extend that longevity even more if you're into that kind of thing. But yeah, I'd much rather just get it all done in sort of one whole playthrough rather than sort of going through it again. So just preserve that final quest just to get everything I want kind of done, all the exploration, all out of my system before finishing that final one off.
Fair enough. And Ian, you sound like you're in agreement there.
Yep, pretty much the same. Like, I'd rather do it all in one playthrough. New Game Plus never really piques me. I'll just do the whole game as normal, and then that's it. But I don't think I'll be done with this for a very long time.
Yeah. I think this is going to be one of them slow burn ones, much like Zelda in the last few months, where just pick up for a few hours a week, blast through it, and then play some other stuff in between, and come back to this and be like, you know what, it's actually rather good, really rather good. Obviously, there's been some scuttlebutt about some of the reviews. Again, I don't want to get into specifics. Some not necessarily unfair, but perhaps didn't quite see what Ross, for example, sees in it, where they pick fault in pretty much everything. That we've sort of sit here and praised about the world building and the scale and the combat and the looks, blah 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 blah. So no shade on them. If that's what they feel, that's what they feel. That's what a review is at the end of the day. But there's been lots of very good ones out there. The 9s and 10s from lots of people.
Not as JC, I'm not like nitpick on anyone else. I'll simply just put out that it has been mentioned, for example. Or one of the gripes I had about it is there was a certain media coverage people who didn't get a review code to begin with and voiced their displeasure about it. And once the game went live, they decided that they were going to make a big song and dance about 3 or 4 different news outlets rating it as a 7 out of 10 or a 70 out of 100, whatever you want to classify it as. But they made a massive song and dance about these 4, maybe 5 companies coming out giving it 7 out of 10. Still a solid score, but I think everybody's expecting 8s, 9s, whatever it is. Yeah. But then when you go and look at the people who have reviewed it, there is an overwhelming amount of 8s, 8.5, 9s, 9.5, 10s in comparison to the lower end 7s, 7.5. But for the fact that they didn't get a review copy and then chose to make a article about some lower scores, it screams entitlement and petty to me. Like, you can voice your displeasure about not getting a review code. I completely understand that. You're not entitled to a review code by any stretch of the imagination. And whether or not you want to then go down the train of thought that if you're not getting a review code, there must be something to hide, which is what they then premised in their article. But then don't come out with a scathing article to say look at these reviews that the game's getting, when the truth of the matter is yes, there was a couple of lower reviews, not poor at all, but there was an overwhelming amount of great reviews. Like that's what pisses me off. This article came out because you didn't get a review copy. If you'd got a review copy, you would never have published this article.
Yeah,
I have no objection with people having valid criticisms of a game. And again, every game is not for every person. You wax lyrically about Pikmin. It's not my type of game. Doesn't mean it's not a good game. Just means it's not my type of game. So that's fine. So people can have low review scores. Cool. But have a valid reason for having low review scores, not just saying.
What I've seen a few people getting low reviews. It's like, oh, it's really like a bit petty.
Yeah, there's no reason to. You're not marking it down for any valid reason, and that's what pisses me off. That just screams entitlement to me.
And I think some people do it as well for clickbait.
Oh yeah, like there you go. I had to click into that article because of how shite their tagline was for what they were putting out, and I read the whole article. So in their eyes, that's a win because somebody who might not have went onto their website to read reviews or articles has got another set of eyes onto their website. Round of applause them.
Yeah, another penny in the bean counters box going, oh, more clicks for us, please. Yeah. Well, you can look forward to very unbiased and fair and wonderful 3 out of 10 from Graham in the near future, just to upset Ross if more than anything else.
Definitely.
In fairness, we probably have to give it 3 out of 10 because if you give a game any sort of positive review on our website, people just shit all over you.
Hello, commenters. If you want to leave a comment on xboxtavern.com, feel free. We've had lots of very wonderful ones lately.
Better yet, if you do have a problem with any of the reviews on any of the said ones that we may be referring to, at Scottish Gruff on Twitter, I will quite happily have a little conversation with you.
We're all friends here. Hashtag be nice, you cunts.
Yeah.
Graham, let's go back to you.
On the cunts.
Yes. I know. Again, like I said, you're doing a review.
Yeah.
But have you got any sort of more initial impressions you want to share? Anything that we haven't brought up, perhaps, or anything you want to expand upon? Things that we have already brought up.
So no, first impressions are you absolutely feel the smell of Bethesda all the way through it. The way it looks, the way it plays, the way you speak to people, the way the leveling up bit works, the exploration. It's everything that you kind of expect. There's no surprises there, and it's everything you kind of wanted it to be. I know there is some things about the massive exploration, but I mean, there's limits. There's always limits to everything, and sort of you don't have to sort of go too mad. I mean, it's big enough. There's plenty to sort of get your teeth into, and like you say, this is perfect for those procrastinators. The Bethesda games always are that. But granted, there are some sort of minor odd things. I mean, it wouldn't be a Bethesda game without bugs. Sort of your companion seems to go apeshit at times, doing weird and wonderful things, from talking over their shoulder to randomly breakdancing on a table. And my one tends to go rogue every now and then. Someone shoots at me, they take it personally and just piss off until they've killed the person.
Leroy!
They turn around. She's just not there anymore. She's disappeared, and then literally about 10 minutes later, she just randomly appears next to me. And it's like, okay.
Somebody offended your cat. That's it. Fucking.
She's off.
You signed your death for it.
And it's not like it's sort of super easy, which some of the others can be. Sort of, you usually have to sort of make it a bit difficult to try and get that kind of out of the game. I think it's quite nicely balanced to start off with. Some clever robots trapped me in an airlock and sort of just completely cornered me, and I couldn't get out of it. And yeah, I died. I got rinsed by 3 robots because they penned me into an airlock. And I lost a lot of times on the ship warfare. There really needs to be a bit of a deeper dive into that bit, because that's really kind of tricky quite early on. You have to get a bit of practice before you kind of work out sort of turning down the energy into some things to raise them in the other things to give yourself an advantage. And when you're outnumbered, it's really hard to win those kind of battles unless you have a decent kind of ship.
Yeah, that's one part I've noticed as well. Like even like I've sort of tried to build like one cargo ship, so it's got tons of things, but good engine and decent shielding. But if it gets in a fight, it's fucked. Like there's no offensive capabilities of it. The Frontier, the first one that we've got, I've sort of kitted that out so it's super quick, really good shields, and hits like a tank.
Yeah.
So that's fine if I get caught in a dogfight. That is useless sort of transporting anything because I've got rid of all the cargo to put different weapons in or put better capacitors in for shields and stuff like that. But the space battles can be brutal. They can properly fuck you up in a hurry.
And the one thing I noticed that it didn't have, which like the Fallout 76 does have, is that you pick up random crappy loot, but it's not like it's some of the stuff is like breakdownable or just easily sellable. It's just loot for the sake of being loot. And early on, I picked up some random crap, which like desk lamps and all this kind of stuff. Is that there's literally
I had a fucking stack of notepads that I had to get rid of.
So
Like I said,
What do you do with them? Yeah, I never.
you can't break anything down. I don't know if that comes later on that you can break stuff down or.
You can't scrap them. You can use them to decorate your place.
Well, that ain't happening.
So yeah, well, once you get your place, you've got things you can do it with there. But yeah, I get what you mean about things like because I just like one of the missions I got is to do with spoilers. It's to do with the old world type idea. So I get like given a lot of old world memorabilia, and I'm like, I don't want a fucking 1930s baseball. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
You're just taking up space.
In the bin.
And then the two minor gripes I kind of have with it. One's been sort of publicly around anyway, and it's the small hop ability or just a equivalent of like a fast vehicle to go on when you're on a planet, etc. Some of the landmarks or bits are quite a distance away from each other, and it's a bit of a 5-minute run to get from one place to the other, and it's like you can't just quickly pick up your ship and move it over a little bit just to get that smidgen bit quicker like you could in No Man's Sky, for example.
Oh, it'd be really good to be a ground vehicle. Would help so much.
Like a ground vehicle or just a way to sort of quick hop over to nearer to other landmarks without having to sort of take off, go back up and then go back down again into different areas. So a smaller hop that, I mean, yeah, it's a minor kind of gripe, but something that has been put out there. My other bit is with the degree of rarity of items makes no sense. I picked up sort of epic legendary gear and it's shitter than what I've already got on. There's like no scaling or some of it, and it's not even like it's good loot. It's like it doesn't even sell for like a lot more some of the common stuff. And it's like, is this just broken or is it just all over the place? I don't get it. I was like, I'm just ignoring whatever it is common, because some of my common gear is better than the legendary gear. So the only reason it's like epic or rare or legendary is because it's got an extra ability underneath, which it says, you know, you can last like 10% more oxygen or something like that, just a minor kind of thing. But yeah, it just seems like the rarity scaling is a bit meh. Like if it was that rare, why is it not more expensive to sell than the others? But yeah, just that's a minor kind of weird thing, but something that I've noticed. I don't know if you guys have come across that the epic loot is rarely ever better than what you currently got.
I have already found a legendary. I forget what the name of it. Is it a Grendel or something?
Yeah,
is that one of the guns?
Yeah.
I found a legendary one of them, which it only equipped because it was legendary. I must admit, I didn't really look at what stats it gave me. It's like it's got to be better than what I have, so maybe I'll fuck myself over there. But yeah, no, I haven't played enough, I guess, to find that sort of stuff. Ian's having a little chuckle. Well, Ian, what's your thoughts?
So what?
Exactly. Pay attention in class, or you'll be kept after behind.
Sorry. So, repeat.
Oh yeah, the different illnesses you can pick up. That's an interesting little touch.
I haven't got any. The only one I've got I had so far was I dislocated my leg because I was going up this like elevator shaft and then the gravity just turned back on, so I just fell. And also then obviously that made me lose things like 25% of capacity.
Yeah.
Capacity. Oh, I can't think of the word.
Try again.
Capacity.
Thank you.
You know you're fucked when the Scotsman's able to say words you can't.
Yeah.
My train of thought went elsewhere. Sorry. Yeah, so that's the only one I've had. I've had no illnesses. Yeah.
I was actually joking because early on I got 3 in the space of like 20 minutes. I got the lung damage one Pete was talking about, and then I jumped off too high. It was in the new Citadel wee bit where you jump off like the ramp down bit, and I jumped a bit too high up, damaged my leg, and so I had to have some bandages to sort of fix that. Yeah. And then one of the bug things on one of the planets gave me a disease which I had to cure as well. So Within 20 minutes, I got 3 different illnesses that I had to try.
Nice.
I didn't have the right aid to correct it at the time, so then luckily I finally found something to get rid of it. But it was minor setbacks. It's like slightly less oxygen, slightly less carry capacity.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not to the point where you're like, I literally am
breaking,
fucked
yeah.
if I can't do anything here.
But it loves
But no,
telling
yeah.
you when you go into the inventory, there's like a little health thing saying that you still got something.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Oh,
The
look at
prognosis
this.
is bad. So
You have to go
all
to
right,
a
I'll
doctor
try and
to get
find
it.
something to get rid of it.
I think
Give
the
me a
two.
chance.
I think the two worst ones that I've had was radiation poisoning and hypothermia. Were the worst
okay.
two that I've had so far.
Yeah, so that's the only one I've had so far. Was the leg damage one?
Yeah.
So I just went to a doctor and he did it for me.
But that's it. So I know there's a tons more that I have to explore to sort of find out. But those are the only kind of minor gripes I've had with it so far. Other than that, thoroughly enjoying it. And
I think the
got
only one I
completely
have
swept
so
up.
far is just I fucking hoard too much. So that's my minor gripe. Is I fucking hoard so much. I literally constantly back. I think I spend more time going back and forward between shops because I can't take all their money, so I go to another shop to get all their money because obviously they only got a limited amount.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, because I like go back and forth between different shops. I've fucking got to sell all the shit I want. And then sometimes I fucking go into the shop and forget that I'm on the buy window, not the sell window. So I've just bought loads of stuff. I got to reload my save back into the shop, fucking sell everything again, and then obviously lucky enough to be only realised. I think maybe lucky enough I noticed it early on. Was like going back and forth in the ship to pick up my items, and realise you press LB a bit more and you go into
Dumps all of them.
Yeah, it goes into your ship inventory. So I was like, that's good. So you do that from the main menu, and also I don't have to go back and forth to my ship to get the items. I can just sell from the same window.
Sell from inventory, so that's great.
So I did that trip once and realised, oh wait a minute, I don't need to do that. So yeah, that's the only thing I fucking spend most of my time on, just fucking selling all the shit I keep hoarding. But I've got like 200,000 credits, so I can't complain too much.
Fair enough. I made the mistake of dumping all my stuff. You know the room you get. Well, you don't, Ross. Obviously, you haven't got it. The room you get when you spoken to the constellation person. They're like, "It'll take you to your room," and blah. I was like, I've got so much shit, so I just dumped it in the chest. And then I finally found a shop to sell it. And I was like, "Oh, son of a bitch!" So it's still in there. I'm not going back.
See, if you'd have left it on your ship, you could have just.
Yeah, well, I don't even think. Well, yeah, at that point, I didn't really bother with the ship so much, but I'll have to just dump it in the ship from now on.
But no, I like my Razor Leaf. I want to get a bigger ship now, though.
Just make the Razor Leaf bigger. That's what I
did.
Ian, so much work. I can't believe you've got to do work. Oh my god.
God, I just want to buy my ship.
Some of the ships that you can just buy from the vendor.
And I think there's more than one vendor as well. So
there's vendors on pretty much every like space dock. There's a vendor.
So I might just maybe start googling to see.
Yes, some of the, well, there's quite fortunate, like scrolling through TikTok, and there's a guy who's basically just started his account, and that was what he started his account with is shipbuilding on Starfield, and he's got like X-wings, he's got not X-wings, Y-wings, Millennium Falcons, the Razor Crest from Mandalorian, the Pelican from Halo. He's just got all these different ways that you can just build these ships to make them look exactly like that, and I'm like, oh, that's a rabbit hole that I really can't afford to get going down if I want to fucking in any way, shape, or form complete this game before the end of the year.
Yeah.
I think completing it before the end of the year might be a bit of a tall order for most of us.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to get sucked into that or the base building, like you said, or even just.
I can't believe I've not even started that yet.
Around.
Yeah, I tried to the base building. I just got too angry with it. I need to go back to it. It's just, I think I couldn't work out. I was like, you need power, and I was like, I'll get a fucking solar panel thing, and like, okay, that works. This place is sunny. Went to connect to it, and it wouldn't connect and wouldn't work, and I was like, why is it not working? And I dumped two companions in the same place. But maybe it needs companions to work, and then no, nothing works. I was like, oh fuck it, I'll come back later and do it. I just flew off, left two companions
left
down
there. Like, figure it out, fuckers.
You sort it out.
Fucking do it yourself.
So fucking Lynn and whoever.
Your shit.
There. Yeah, Lynn and fucking. You stay down there. Fucking ain't bothering you. I'll come back when I've got time.
Oh.
See, now listening to you lot talk about it is definitely making me more interested in getting back to it. I will carry on playing it. It's
Get
just,
it done.
if something like this, you need a good solid chunk of time, I think, to sit down and play it and get into it. Whereas I haven't quite had that yet. I've had sort of an hour here and there, an hour there.
I've had something like I think I've only done what 3 main missions. The rest of it's just been like say side missions. I became a bounty hunter for a bit. I became a debt collector.
Fucking awesome.
So I did doing them 2 things. Saving burglaries.
What was that?
Robberies?
Anal, what? Right.
Stop at the what? Ross?
I can't believe Ross has done an anal.
What's his done an anal?
Special guest Peter's got a few questions for us. We mentioned him a few times. He's also been playing it. And we've pretty much hit all of his questions. I just want to read a couple out for you though before we move on to something else, if that's all right. He said, has it been worth the 87-year wait since Skyrim?
Yes.
Yes. It's better than Skyrim.
Outrageous.
It is better than Skyrim. You can't fight me for it, mate. It is. It's far better than Skyrim.
Do you regret picking any of your character perks? Ross, you said about one perhaps you weren't sure about earlier on, maybe?
No, I'm happy with mine. I'm more than happy with mine.
The only one I regret is Dream House because I haven't been there. I went there once. I went, you got to pay £125 for this. It's like, I'll come back to you, and never went back. The first thing I did was went there, and then they're like,
are we saying that on Skyrim? And then just in regards to what Gray and Ian said, they had like a little niggle over in regards to what they could fault on the game. Skyrim didn't have horses when the game first launched. You couldn't own your own horse. You couldn't do anything like that. You had to traverse the map by either using the little guy who was at the entrance to the city or by walking. And they put it in a hotfix.
Yeah.
So Bethesda's got a track record for it as well.
Yeah.
I reckon they'll do it as a DLC.
I don't even think it'll do a DLC. I think they'll just add it in as like something that comes into the game, like they did with the horses, and that'll be it.
Just do the cross-brand synergy. Get the El Mako in there. Let us bounce around the planets. That's what
somebody said. That somebody said like even something like the Mako for Mass Effect, a car that was absolutely slated when it was in Mass Effect. People hated the Mako, but now they'd be
they
like,
were wrong.
Oh yeah, Mako's fantastic. Fuck anybody who didn't like it. And then they're like, just put it in the game. Put it in the game. Tell you know what's wrong with this generation? You want everything too fucking easy. Work for your shit.
I've got to work for it. Oh.
Exactly. Fucking put the effort in, you sure.
Nice. And then one more question from special guest Pete, and then we'll move on if that's all right with everybody. He says, "How soon will we see a remaster of Starfield?"
Oh God, don't.
Well, so what we're going to get? We're going to have to get.
It'd be Game of the Year edition first.
Yeah, I was going to say they're going to have 4 DLCs. So they need to get them out the way first. Then there'll be the Game of the Year edition. Then there'll be
the Forge bit.
Deluxe edition.
Yeah, there'll be a deluxe edition that'll come with everything built into it, plus an extra couple of skins.
Maybe mod mode as well. So you add mods.
Well, they're introducing mods. That's just going to come as standard. But yeah, they'll bring one.
They can make it wishy-washy.
Yeah, they'll do something. And then what else?
A special edition with ray tracing 60 frames per second.
Yeah, there'll be that. That'll get the new version of it. Then there'll be an anniversary edition after 5 years. Yeah. And then there'll be a next gen version. Then there'll be the version that comes to the Switch.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine Starfield running on the Switch? Jesus. Oh,
fucking thing would explode already.
I can't even think of it. No, God.
I think even trying to install it would melt on Switch.
Cartridges.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to go to this planet? Put in cartridge 4.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Fucking hell.
You want to go back to your main hub? Okay, put in cartridge 1 now.
You have to carry a fucking backpack with you every time you want to play the game.
Nice. Okay, cool. We got one more question from the Riven Prego, who says, "Score big and grab your $300 Xbox gift card. Visit our website now by clicking the link in our bio."
Oh yeah!
Thank you very much, the Riven Prego, for joining us on Xbox Tavern.
He did ask a question in the chat as well, but I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see the chat. No, do you want to read it out, Ian?
No, you can.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Have you guys found ammo to be an issue? I seem to be running out constantly.
No.
I use a pistol a lot.
I go to a vendor.
Yeah.
Only for one type of ammo. It's called light fuse, I think it is. My poor super gun called the 1-inch punch. It just literally tears through enemies, but it's just I can't find light fuse ammo anyway. But
No, I think every now and again I run out on a certain gun, but the one ammo I never run out of is pistol ammo, so I may just use that. I use the Solus. I got like I got like an upgraded Solus, which literally just like three shots and they're dead. So I never need to really worry about ammo. I've got this really crazy grenade launcher as well. That's always fun to use.
Nice.
That does run out of ammo. No, it's not. But it's always good fun to blow them up first. Where did that come from?
It happens. Start fucking throwing grenades.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Shrapnel grenades are fantastic. I like my shrapnel grenades.
You know what? I was carrying some. I guess they must have been the same ones. For ages, I didn't even know I had them. I was like, I wish I had a grenade right now. And then I went into my menu. I was like, oh man, I've had grenades for ages. Where did these come from? Yeah,
dumbass.
Yeah. Add them to the quick select on the D-pad. But yeah, very good. Anyone got anything else they'd like to get off their chest on this? How long have we been playing it? 3 days now of Starfield. Obviously, it's going to be our Project Game Pass game for the entire month of September. So we're waffling about it for each and every week at 8 PM.
Yes.
But is anybody else got anything they'd like to get off their chest now before we move on to a few other quick bits?
Game of the year.
Game of the year.
I'm still waiting for Manslayer.
Yeah. Oh man, he's got fucking stuff to work with already. I tell you.
He's got.
He's already done it. He's already teased it out with the adoring fan.
Yeah, he did ages ago. Yeah,
Zora is the grand champion.
Yeah,
no, it's going to have so much. There's so many characters they can have a field with. Even I see go to like certain location, like Manslayer's going to be here.
I think one. I don't want to end on a nitpick, so I'll bring it back around.
Here we go.
One small nitpick I've got, which I completely understand why it's the case.
Loading time.
But in Skyrim and Oblivion and even Fallout, I assume, every character's got a name and got a reason for being there. You can follow them, and they got daily tasks and stuff.
Not all characters.
Whereas, run guard.
Yeah, but
I used to be an adventurer like you to take an arrow to the knee.
The point I'm getting at is everyone you talk to, you can have a quick conversation with. Maybe not like get the life story. Whereas here, there's lots of just civilian, person.
Why do you want to talk to everyone?
No, but it feels weird to have a Bethesda game where you can't have a sort of a fully fleshed out cast. Shut the fuck up and let me talk. And again, I understand they've obviously got to fill the universe, and they can't have 500,000 characters all with specifically written dialogue. But it was a bit. I was trying to find people to talk to. I was like, click on them. Go, hello. No, I want to find the missions. Give me some more people, fuckers. I don't want to fucking hunt through 500 people to find the one person who's got something to say.
Jay's feeling a bit lonely. Jay wants the conversation simulator.
Maybe it's just me. Obviously, it's just me.
It's clearly just you, Jay. There's no maybe it's just you.
Yeah, I always enjoyed that, especially in Skyrim, where you go into a village and you talk to everyone. Everyone's got a story. You can have a chat with them. You can find missions from them. Whereas here, I click on someone, they're like, the bar's closed. Okay, is that it? Oh, all right. I guess I'll find someone else to talk to then. See if they've actually got something to say to me.
When we go out on your birthday, can you talk to everyone on the train?
No, I'm not talking to anyone. You're not coming anymore. Fuck you. Right. So, but I will say again, the people I have found to talk to have all had a hell of a lot to say, which has been very annoying, obviously.
They talk too much. They talk too little.
I'd say talk too much. You said that, motherfucker. Right. Sometimes I wonder why I bother.
Playthrough, for God's sake.
You're a bunch of cunts. You are right. Let's move on, shall we?
There's only one nitpick. Is like loading time sometimes annoys me, but that's it. I got stuck on one loading screen.
But getting back to it, I saw a lot of people saying like, "Oh, it's just like mannequins standing there, face on to the camera." And it is a little bit, but that doesn't bother me. I quite enjoy the simple face on look at me.
Yeah.
And it does provide a few hilarious moments when they try and talk to Sarah and they sort of look at her and then they try and look back at me and they're like, And yes, and I really want you to do this mission.
It's like a slow turn.
Yeah.
Yes, how are you? I
yeah.
want you to do this.
I really want to test the mentality of one of our comment leavers. He said, even though I'm not good at playing games at all, I love watching other games play. If Jay streams that, I'm pretty sure he'll change his mind.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know.
Does this
You
guy
know,
play
he-
anything? He's just talking to everyone. For fuck's
Talk
sake.
to everyone.
Yeah.
That's the whole fucking point. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Oh, why do I fucking bother sometimes? I don't know. Ross, plug me fucking Gadaway. Come on.
Oh, I'm too fucking fucked to plug anything after my experience this week. Right, where's my plugs? Where's my plugs? I really should have these sort of set up, shouldn't I? Right. Fuck, I'm not even got organised. I've been too busy worrying about talking about Starfield for the whole fucking show. Patreon. Patreon.com/Xbox Tavern. I've not got my QR code or nothing set up. Jesus Christ, I'm having a mare here.
I was going to say, I'd help you out, but I can't.
Oh, no, sorry. It's because I was trying to be nice to Ian last week and give him privileges to record the show, and then they decided they weren't doing it, so I was like, fuck that then. So patreon.com/Xbox Tavern. If you want to scan the wee QR code on screen, that will take you to our Patreon page. If you want to support us with your hard-earned money, it would be greatly appreciated. Enough subscribers would allow me to go and buy the Constellation pack, so that would be
I thought you got off more your
One day.
review money.
fucking.
Oh,
If I got a pound for every cunt in the comments about my Madden review, I could have bought fucking Bethesda at this rate. Wankers. Apple and Spotify podcasts. If you want to jump over there, rate us 5-star. Even if we have called you out for your shocking comments on the website, leave a wee comment. We'd always be grateful to hear your feedback about the show. Speaking of the website, all written reviews can be found on xboxtavern.com, and Jay will have a list later on in the show of things that have went up in the last week. Socials have been run along the bottom of the screen for the first part of the show, but as you can see at the moment, we've got our insert coin promotion, which is XBTIC23, which can be used for I don't know why it's still saying £5 because I changed that. It's now been changed. It's 10% off orders, if I'm right in saying that, Jay.
I believe so.
10% off orders,
Off
not
your
just your
first
£5
order, I
off.
believe. I don't know if
First
it's
order, yes.
effective, I'm not sure.
Doesn't apply to things like gift cards and stuff like that. Same with the normal terms and conditions for the promotion that we've had previously, but you are getting a wee bit more off now, so it's quite nice. And last but by no means least, Discord, jump over there. Somebody beat Jay. I fucking fell off a cliff this last week because, Starfield. Whole lives fell off a cliff in the last week because, Starfield. So Jay needs somebody to go and kick his ass at guess the game, seeing as the team. Well, sorry, and don't get anything right too quick. You try to average about 3-4 correct for like when you pick it. Otherwise, Gray will say you've googled the answer. But yeah, that's. Did we though?
Go and get guess the game going. One week I'd like to have a live version of that on here where we just do it. We don't do it on Sunday. We do it all together and just see what happens. But not this week because I've already done it.
Yeah,
and I can already see the rage coming from.
That should be there we go. I'm putting this in a fucking.
No, I think today's on. I can't remember if I knew it or not.
Putting this into place just now. That's a segment for next week's show.
Damn
Every
right.
Sunday we will do guess the game live on stream, and then Gray can have no complaints. He will see that there is no bullshittery.
Yes, that sounds like a plan to me. Let's do this. Let's do this next week. Thank you very much, Ross, for plugging us. Even though you're exhausted from all your traversing the galaxy and having lots of conversations with people. Ian, I'm going to go to you first because you've been playing a very, very special game. We don't have to spend long because we've been going very long on Starfield, but I want you to at least give me the cliff notes of your experience with the one, the only Resident Evil 2 remake.
So yeah, I finally, after playing Insomnius, I thought, you know what, I've got a bit more courage now in me. I can actually maybe play a bit more scarier game. So I picked up, Pete already bought Resident Evil 2. We're game share buddies, so I thought I'll give it a go. I tried Leon's story because he looks like a bit of an annoying whiny bitch, so I thought I'd go Leon instead. But then even Leon's like the...
I was going to say, if out of the two of them, Leon's probably the whiny bitch. But
yeah, then I realised very quickly Leon was also a whiny bitch. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It wasn't, it's a lot of back and forth, isn't it? It's like, go here, go back here, go back here, go back there. And then, but I realised quickly, using a map, the map was blue means you've done everything in that room. The black's red. You need to go back to it.
Yeah.
So I kind of used that to kind of my leverage for things. I did every now and again find a lock, and I was like, I can't be fucked to go hunt for this locker code. So I just Googled what's the code.
See? Fucking Googling. Fucking cheating. Outrageous.
Oh, it's the fuck! I'm not gonna go. I'm scared of these zombies as it is. I'm gonna go back. So yeah, I think I did have a shit scare moment when a fucking licker came out of nowhere and tried to suck me off, and that scared the pants out of me. And I was like, and then also I fucking hated the dogs as well. The dogs were fucking.
Dogs
annoying.
are a bastard in the Resident Evil games.
Yeah,
They came out for a great. It's like, what the fuck? Oh!
Yeah, they just pop out of nowhere and they're too fast and fucking nimble. It's like, fuck off, leave me alone, get the shotgun out.
So yeah, but you know what? I wouldn't say it was difficult.
All
I
good.
played on this that. No, you know what? I'll give Jamie his credit where credit's due. It actually was a fun playthrough. I didn't really like the sewer bit. That was the worst bit.
Because of fear or just because of the mechanics?
Both. I didn't like going through the water and then those fucking big things keep popping out. And then in my panic nation, I tried to use a flamethrower in the water and that does nothing.
Funnily enough. Yeah, I can see how that would be counterproductive.
Did you enjoy
So then end up
the chase section with the
chucking
crocodile chasing you down?
Oh, that fucking pissed me off. It took me at least a good 5 minutes to realise, oh, it goes right, left, right, and then you just have to. And then when I got through it, I was like, oh, I got through. What am I doing? And I was like, oh, he's trying to do something. Then he killed me. Then I realised I had to shoot the thing. And then eventually I got there after a while. But, you know, it wasn't too bad. I mean, I did the first playthrough and I thought, okay, I might do Claire's playthrough now. And like I said to you, I got through some of it and it was exactly the same I was doing with Leon's story. I thought it might be a bit different to because obviously you got separated at the beginning of the game. So I thought, oh, maybe she goes somewhere different and use something else in police station. Then it circles back, but no, exactly the same. So I was like, I'm not doing this. Whether it changes later on,
it definitely does differ, but it's not as I said to you in our chat the other day. It's not as different as the original game where it had like you said, like Claire would be on one side, Leon would be on the other, doing like A, B scenarios. Whereas here they start off the same and then they just sort of diverge a bit until you end up sort of back at the same place at the end.
Yeah. So I kind of thought, oh, I'm not going to do this all again. Or maybe I'll go back to it once I finish Starfield now. I mean, that's my life now, Starfield. But who knows? Like maybe I will, maybe I not. But so far, you know, I would say the playthrough I had was solid. The final boss was a bit annoying because I had no health at all. So literally, I could get 2 hit and I'd be dead because I was like half health already.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to get through that without being hit once, which actually was quite good in the end because eventually I got achievement for it to be doing him in under 5 minutes. So, you know, can't complain there because I did one a bit aggressive and that kind of helped if you because obviously after a while loads of fucking rocks drop and then if you hide behind the rocks he kind of doesn't get you because that's hit the rock away and then you keep shooting him.
So obviously you just mentioned,
but the Mr. X was a fucking cunt because like he'll just walk towards you and like I'm running away and he just like walks like how the fuck are you catching up to me? You're walking and I'm running.
Have you never watched a horror film?
He's a stompy motherfucker. He was excellent. The way they implemented him in this game was fucking awesome. You can hear him sort of stomping around above you and you just put your head out the door and he's just like, hello.
No, shot him and then he goes on his knees. Oh, he's on his knees. And for one time I kept shooting him while I was on his knees. Oh, maybe I got to kill him. Nothing happened. I was like, oh, what the fuck? And then also I just stood up and
Mistakes were made.
That's it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's a fucking stomping motherfucker. Yeah, he doesn't die until the end. We'll see. Spoilers, yeah. Or does he?
I think if you kill him in the police, well, knock him down. Sorry, he does drop stuff, but I found it was never worth the ammo. It was better off just running away from him.
Oh, I never knew that. I never got that close to my. After the first time where he fucking, did he like skull break me or something? Oh fuck, that's what he goes with.
Just fucking decimated you, no matter what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. You played it. I didn't even have to force you. You just was like, I'm playing Resident Evil 2. I was like,
So what I've got for this conversation is Ian's now willing for suggestions to play scary horror games.
No,
that's what I got for that conversation.
I feel like Outlast should be up next, and then maybe Amnesia, probably the Bunker because that's the most recent one and that's probably the best one in my eyes. But Yeah, we'll
Do you
get
have
you there,
some-
Ian. We'll get you there.
Yeah, trying to think of other ones that you could possibly
I
play.
mean, we could obviously go back to Silent Hills. Silent Hill 2 is a
Yeah, if you're
an
going
all-time
back, if
classic.
you want to stick on the current genre though, Resi 7.
No. Oh no! Fuck no! I've seen no chance.
Thing is, none of the Resi games that I've played are particular, in my eyes, are particularly scary in regards to like what you would expect a scary game to be. Like Silent Hill, for example, is fucking creepy as fuck. Resi 7, on the other hand,
7 is like
seven
shitty
fucking nails it.
especially in the first couple of hours when you're in the Baker
Yeah,
household. So.
7 fucking nails it.
No, never. No, I don't own it.
Thing
so-
is, like, because that was the best part of 8. The best part of 8 was when you were in the house.
Benevito?
Benevito.
That is
When you
that
were in
best.
her house. That was the fucking worst, like the best part of the game, in my eyes.
What, led them a quest?
No, not fucking big golfy ladies chasing you around. No.
No, the one after that, the one that's
Yeah,
it goes very Resident Evil 7. Yeah, very good.
that was fantastic.
Yeah, but yes, we'll get Ian more into the horror games over the course of the next few months.
No.
We'll play
I'm alright.
some more good ones, and we'll go from there. Ian, I'm proud of you. You've done me.
Good man, you've done well
You've-
getting through those two.
You've made me. You made me all warm and fuzzy in my tum tum, as
Aw.
Simon Miller would say. Right, Graham, have you played anything else
Why?
apart from Starfield? Here's why. Graham,
I have, but I mean, can't deep dive too much into this, or it'll be going on into next
indeed,
week.
give us some higher level thoughts on probably Immortals of Avium, I'd say.
Yeah, so that's one of the other games I'm reviewing, and that's going to be going under the radar now that sort of Starfield's kind of in full flight. But it's a decent kind of game. It's got a lot going for it. The story mode in it is really sort of gripping and sort of in depth, and it plays a similar kind of feel to me as what kind of like the movement of like what Dishonored kind of has, and it's just you're kind of a magic caster who's in the lower end of things, like the peasant kind of area, and basically there's a magic war going on between sort of different factions, and basically the more magic they use and the more worlds getting destroyed, and you kind of have to sort of get involved and try to put an end to the war. And it's kind of got mini puzzle bits involved, because you've got you can see there the bracelet on your arm's got it's got 3 colors: the blue, red, and green. And like blue's your standard shot, red's your shotgunny kind of shot, and green's your homing kind of needler kind of weapon from Halo kind of shot. And each different kind of color has sort of different parts of a puzzle to play. Sometimes you have to hit different colored orbs to unlock certain kind of doors. There's like different puzzle elements in there. Some enemies are only kind of susceptible to certain colors damage, but you have to use the blue one to break the shield and then use the red one to do sort of damage to them. So it's a bit of mix and matching, and you can level them up higher to the other depending on which side you kind of use a bit more often than the others. And there's a lot of different kind of skills to utilize as well. So on top of that is where it gets a bit mayhem. You've got a kind of different grenade options which are linked to the colors. You've got like a green kind of grenade that slows them down, so they sort of move at like 50% pace, so you can get some shots in with your weapon. Or you've got your red grenade which kind of stuns them in place, gives you a kind of a little bit of time to sort of smack them about. Or you've got the blue grenade which just lashes at like a whip towards them, pulls you closer so you can lay into them and give them a bit of kind of damage going there. And then each color also has a special kind of attack as well. So it's kind of like a lot of different mappings going on at once, but they all kind of do different kind of things. So you have to sort of have all that mapped in your head when going into kind of combat. Otherwise you can get whipped quite easily. But yeah, it's a mismatch of kind of different kind of platforming elements, different kind of puzzling elements, and then full on sort of combat with sort of different colored weapons to sort of fight with and mix around with. Plus, but I mean, that's all sort of 50%. The other 50% is the kind of story that kind of buys you into it. Sort of really good kind of voice acting and really good kind of storyline to it as well. I think
I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's so frustrating when it's came out. Like, had this been out a couple of months ago, I would have definitely been like full on committed to playing it because I've heard like loads of good things for reviews. Even just in that wee clip, one of the I recognise some of the actors have always had like the mocap done. You can recognise them for other stuff as well. Looks beautiful. The gameplay that I've seen is fantastic. I wish this had been a May launch, or even February next year.
Excuse me. It was originally due out in July, and they pushed it back to like a month.
Would have been perfect.
Be right next to Starfield.
Yeah, definitely would have got a way more attention. But yeah, a very, very decent game. If you're sort of into that kind of style, there's a lot to sort of tuck into, and it seems quite a large kind of game as well to sort of jump into.
That was one I was definitely keen to jump into, and I hope to get to it before Starfield come out. But yeah, I just haven't had even a chance to load it up yet. So
yeah, the mechanics seem quite fun. So
maybe over Christmas. But as you said, that's one of the reviews you got on the go, as well as just the tiny task doing something about Starfield.
That's like a full-blown shotgun to the foot rather than shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah. You've shot it off and lobbed it in the back for the wolves to carry away.
Yeah. But I think I've got far enough in it to get that kind of review out the way, which I need to get done before sort of playing a bit more of this to be able to give this a fair crack as well.
That's fair enough. Well, we'll look forward to them up on xboxtavern.com very, very soon. Ross, have you got anything you want to talk about other than Starfield very quickly? Because I've got one game, but I might skip over it because we're running on time here.
The only thing I would say is we have to flash back to last month's game, Project Game Pass game, because that's the only other game that I've played this week.
Remind me. We're talking about last month. Wait. I'm thinking Ian's fucking thrown me off of his Deathloop last week. I was like, wait a minute.
That was last year.
There we go.
That was last year.
All right. Well, yeah. I'll just very quickly mention my game, and then we'll get into Project Game Pass, and then we'll round it off because we've been going way, way long because of Starfield. All of the hype around Starfield. I've played and reviewed Trine 5, Clockwork Conspiracy. Fucking awesome game. If you played the Trine series, you know what to expect. It's basically more of the same, but better. It takes the physics-based puzzles and combat and stuff and just improves it in every way, basically. It looks lovely. It plays lovely. I've been playing it all on my own, but you can play it with up to 4 people on couch or online co-op. And it's just, using the 3 different characters' abilities, like Zoe here with her ropes and bow and arrow, Amadeus with his magic, and Pontius with his sword and shield and stuff, and just figuring out puzzles to get through the levels. Building a bridge with Amadeus, and then using Zoe to sort of hoist it up with her ropes. You can make it swing to get across a place, or like you said, they're using Pontius' shield to bounce off an arrow, or you can use it to jump on top of and climb up. And there's so much freedom. It's not as good as Breath of the Wild, but it sort of reminds me of the freedom where you presented with go get from here to here, and how you can do that, however you want, pretty much. There's an ideal solution, but if you can figure out something else, and then go for it. There's been a lot of puzzles I sort of skipped over where I needed to put some. I could very clearly see what I should have done, and I was like, I'll just put a couple of boxes down and jump over. Yeah, I've got past, that'll do. Whereas there's been others I've had to build sort of really intricate contraptions to try and get an object from one side to the other. There was one, for example, I had to bring 2 of Amadeus. Wait for this. Amadeus' balls. I had to bring them together using Zoya's rope.
I'm sure you did. There's a word for that.
It was tricky. It was tricky to sort of get it in the right place, but once I got the physics of it, I was like, I can't believe that worked. And I'm sure there was an easier way of doing it, but the way I did worked. And that's what you want to do.
Gee, you would be surprised that when you get your balls in the right position, it does have the desired effect.
I mean, it opened the hole and I got through it. So I don't know if that was.
There we go. That's the main goal.
That was the end result I was aiming for, but I believe so. Really, really good game. I couldn't stop playing it, obsessed with it. Highly recommend it.
Did you talk to everyone?
I talked to everybody. Actually,
they all have names, backstories. You know how many kids all of them have?
Really, really fucking excellent game. One of the best games I've played this year, definitely. And if you like I said, if you played Tribe before and you know what it's about, it's just more of the same but better. And if you haven't, then this is definitely the best one to start with because it takes everything and just ramps it up to 11. So yeah, really, really good game. Really, really good game. And I think it's probably the highest review I've given this year. Actually, I don't think I've given any other 10s yet this year, but this one got a whopping 10 out of 10 on XboxDamn.com. You can go read why right now. Right, gentlemen, should we jump into Project Game Pass real quick then? We usually start the show with this, but we had to skip over because obviously Starfield is the main course this week. If you're not familiar with Project Game Pass, we pick a game from Game Pass every month. We play it. Generally, we discuss it and review it throughout the month. But this month we did something, or last month I should say, we did something slightly different. We played a tournament of FIFA 23, where we all played each other in what I believe is called football matches. We kicked some sort of ball into some rectangular shaped object.
Well,
Most of us did. I didn't do it very much. And we all let talk competition. There was 4 of us here, so Ross, Graham, Ian, and myself, and we also had ladies' favourite Daniel and special guest Pete join us. I believe is there one game that wasn't played, or
one game outstanding to still
one game
sort of
outstanding
finalise league positioning.
But as it is right now, and as far as we're concerned, I finished all my games first, so I won. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
There we go.
So, Ian, you've got the scores on the doors, I believe. Do you want to do the honours?
Do I? I do.
I thought you were the one keeping track of it.
I was one keeping track. Give me a second and load it.
Fill some time. Graham, did you enjoy your last game against Ross? It was a barn burner of a game.
Well, it was a bit of a surprise. I didn't expect to sort of get that kind of victory, but it was nice to see my training with that 1-star team paid off after playing all the other games. I knew kind of the limitations of a 46-paced giant striker that doesn't like to run.
Nice.
So I've got the scores.
Okay, go on in. Regale us with the league tables.
In last place, fortunately, was Jamie with 0 points. Lost all his games.
How many goals did I score, though?
You scored 4
goals.
goals.
That's more than I expected.
You let in 19.
Yeah, we don't write that. That's lower than I expected. So.
And then you have me in 5th place. I won 1 against Jamie, and I drew with Graham.
Booyah!
And I lost 3. I scored 11, and I let in 15, so only -4 for me, which is quite good.
Not
bad. Pete currently is 4th, but he's only played 4 games so far. So he's won 2, drawn 1, lost 1. He's got a goal difference of 3, so he's scored 12, let in 9. Ross again only played 4 with 2, 1, 1. He scored 8 and let in only 4, surprisingly. So
3 of them carrying is fucking great.
Yeah. And he did cheat as well.
I never thought I'd ever hear Aberdeen being classed as a cheat.
I don't know what you did to their team to make them 2-star when they were 2.5. And then Dan is the 2nd place. Played 5, won 3, drawn 1, lost 1. Scored 19, let in 14. 14 goals, Dan. Fucking hell. And of course, winner, without anyone really not being surprised, is Graham. We won 3, drew 2, didn't lose any.
No.
Scored 14, let in 7. 3 of them were mine.
It was.
And yeah, he won with 11 points. 1 point. So it's quite good actually, because reality it was Team Dan and Ross. If whoever won Team Dan and Ross would have won the league pretty much. And if they drew, Graham wins.
Yeah.
If they drew.
It had to happen that way. I was just happy not to lose with a 1-star team. That was going to be my toughest feat. I did not expect to be winning it, but luck was on my side in that final game. Or post-final game.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, could you smash Ross?
Yeah, no, there's no point in fucking denying it. He absolutely demolished me. I was atrocious in that game. Great, like nothing at all that I could do was in any way, shape, or form like working. Every single solitary like bit of fucking knowledge that I've ever had with FIFA just abandoned me when it came to playing against Gray, and
I had the best game of my life, and I only drew.
He did. But if you
go.
He scored a bicycle against me as well. Why not add that one in there?
I could have scored a last-minute goal as well if you didn't hack me down.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Tactical foul.
Just to make it worse, and just so I can rub it in with Dan, this was the moment that Gray won the tournament. So, goal line, FIFA goal, equaliser. I thought, yes! 40 seconds left of the game, yes! And then it wasn't until the goal went in, I actually realised I've just handed Gray the title.
See, look how happy they all are. They're like, yes, we scored, and then
Yeah, that was the penny drop
To be
in.
fair, is that worse than you saying you lost to Dan and gave him the win and let Dan win?
Well, I think that was the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'd obviously like sort of spoke it into existence that I could potentially just take a little bribe for Dan and allow him to have like a clear run at the title. But in reality, it was never going to happen. There was never a circumstance that I was going to let Dan beat me to get. It wouldn't have mattered what, even if it was for me to have won the fucking league, I would have rather bet Dan just for the fact of I was not allowing that to be the case.
But it was, yeah. I'm surprised you didn't beat him because I found him. Well, I didn't white against him.
I don't know.
Dan?
you fucking wipe the floor with me.
I mean,
Don't fucking chance.
yeah, I like I said, as Gray was saying, the
Bit of fun.
the
though.
star ratings were quite good to like sort of offset the sort of like the skill levels and things like that. Obviously, if we just all picked 5-star teams, then Gray would have fucking put 30 past all of us.
God, I wouldn't want to think of the score.
Exactly. So the sort of offsetting it with the skill level was quite good. So once me and Pete all need to get this last game played, so we got a definitive league table to see where it sits, and then I think it'll be similar sort of idea again when EAFC comes to Game Pass as part of EA Play. If it comes, I would imagine it will.
Yeah,
we'll
FC
do
26,
we'll do another sort of
27.
tournament like this, and then we'll sort of work out a level system in regards to who's playing. I think at this point we're saying that Gray has to play a half-star team that only has defenders, and he only needs to have 7 players on the pitch at the same time.
And I'll have all his other players as well as all of your lot players on my team.
Yeah,
at the same
exactly.
time.
So you play with a team of 20.
Yeah.
Double team.
Had a goal like this big, just enough to fit the ball in.
If I can still find a way.
I would
to
still fucking lose. I would still lose. Absolutely. But yeah, no.
But no, I thought it was a bit of fun. Like I knew I had no hope. But I still think it was good laugh. You know,
It was.
actually scoring goals against other people was more fun than anything.
Do you know what? As much as I'm obviously not a FIFA player at all, and I instantly deleted it as soon as I finished the game, I did quite enjoy the little competition we had going on. It was quite fun. I knew I had no chirps, like Ian said, but it was good for a little bit of banter, good for a bit of
that was there.
good laugh, and yeah, hopefully the clips that go up and stuff will get that across. With what did you call yourselves last week, Ross? You
The
and
Dragons.
Dan, you gave yourselves nicknames. I don't know who they were. I've forgotten. Is that Ali?
Well, Aberdeen's nickname.
No, it's like Ali
Alley Cat.
Scottish Gruff from Becoist or something like that. And
Oh yes, the commentary.
Oh,
Yes,
Ali
yes.
McCoy.
Sorry, yes. I was thinking, what the
Yeah.
fuck is he talking about here?
Yeah, colour clicks in my head after a while.
Yes. If Dan's available for some commentary work, we'll get that done. Failing that, I'll put I'll put some Peter Drury over the top of it, and we'll get them up on the old YouTubes. But they are all live on Twitch just now. So if you want to jump over and watch the full games and listen to the witty banter that we've got in the live streams, you can jump over to twitch.com or twitch.tv/Xbox Tavern.
oh, and go and check them bad boys.
I
out.
recommend Graham versus Ross's match.
Yes, that
I
was,
haven't watched it back yet. It hurts me
particular
too
highlight.
much.
That was a particular
It's
highlight.
In fairness, it's always
the commentary.
it's always good when there's some anal involved. So
It's been a night though.
Can't believe he's done an anal. Right. Yes, so well done, Graham. Ultimate champion of the
Well
world
played.
of football playing. And next time we'll have to do, I don't know. I was going to say something I'm good at, but there's not very many of them, so I'll have to pick my tactics wisely.
I mean, realistically, we could throw together a league in Football Manager and do that.
Oh, I think I'm alright.
Wow. I think I'd rather race
I mean,
in Forza
Pete
again.
probably complain about that.
You can do just a versus mode, so it's just one game, just one
Well, like draft.
Just one
Do
game?
the draft.
one.
Draft. Yes, do a draft mode. Where you
Oh,
just do it.
I've got Ian talking
encourage
into it.
Don't
Ah,
encourage
you
him.
dancer.
Right. Well, we've been going for way longer than normal because obviously a long Starfield chat. So should we get into the rounded off the show, gentlemen?
Let's round it up.
We can go play some Starfield. Yes.
Just don't ask what game's leaving Game Pass.
Ian, what game's leaving Game Pass? Let's start off with stuff that's coming to Game Pass, should we? Scottish Gruff.
Yeah, let's
tell us all
not
about
do
this
that.
games of class with games of pass and games of pass.
I will find out just now. What month are we coming into September, aren't we?
We are. Graham, I believe your section's done here, isn't it? No more
Yeah, I was
games
about
with
to
gold.
say my section is now empty.
We'll find you something else. Don't worry. I'll think of something for next week.
I'm just getting my list up. As I said, I've been far
Yeah,
too
well, I
busy.
think there's a game called Starfield coming to Game Pass at some point very soon.
Oh, yeah, but I
The
feel
game
like that was a wee
we've,
bit just
Spoken
yeah.
about it or not at all?
Well, I'll go early then.
So
So,
the
games
fight-
leaving
Oh,
Game
you got it.
Pass. Games leaving Game Pass is Origami 2, Danganronpa V3, Killing Harmony Anniversary Edition, DC League Super Pets, Fuga Melody of Steel, Metal Hellsing, Sid Meier's Civilization 6,
Oh, win.
Tainted Grail Conquest, Train Sim World 3, and Amazing Cultivation Simulator.
What was that last one?
Amazing Cultivation Simulator.
Yeah,
I
Jay.
thought you
No,
said something else completely different.
Cultivation Simulator.
Nice. That sounds. That'd be nice. Hashtag be nice. Right, Ross, tell us
Yeah,
about
that's
things
been
that are
nicely
coming into Game Pass. And
So September
What have
5th,
you
we
got?
have Greece, which is console, PC, and cloud. September 6th, for people who haven't got the deluxe edition or paid for the deluxe upgrade, you've got Starfield coming in, again, console, PC, cloud. Another couple of big games coming in the rest of the month. Liza P on September the 19th, which is the Pinocchio Souls-like game, I'm right in saying, yeah?
Yeah, Life of
That
Pi.
looks really cool. Console PC for that one. Party Animals on September 20th come to console. Probably our Game Pass game for October, I would say. September 21st, you've got Payday 3 coming to console, PC, and cloud. And rounding out the month as it stands just now on September 29th, you've got Cocoon, which is console and PC.
So I mean, we're getting the big hit. Excuse me, the big hitters now. We're starting with Starfield, rounded off with Payday. Cocoon is from the people who made Limbo, but also some of the people who made Limbo.
Oh, that'll be good then.
And yeah, lots of good stuff. And then obviously coming up in October, we've got things like Forza. Is it Forza Motorsport? Is that what they're called?
Motorsport, yes.
simple
So we
as
won't
that, yeah.
drag you into that one, Jay. That's not going to be a particularly good Game Pass one for the entertainment value of Horizon. So we'll let you away with that one.
Yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see. I can see Graham itching to play some Forza over there.
Yeah.
Graham, your section is done here. I'm afraid. I'm terribly sorry. No more games with gold.
No more games of gold.
We need to come up with something to do with Game Pass Core or something. I don't know, something witty. I'll figure it out. But for now, thank you very much for listening. If you made it this far, fucking hero as always. I hope you enjoyed the Starfield chat. Let us know in the comments below if you like Starfield or if you have any issues with not being able to talk to every single person on the planet or in the universe, I should say.
Yeah.
And yeah, hit us up on xboxtavern.com, Xbox Tavern on everywhere you want to watch and listen to us. You can find me at ENXAN on Xbox Live and Twitter/X. You can find Gross,
At Scottish Gruff.
Graham,
At Grim Reaper.
and Ian.
And Nutty Way.
Nice. Thank you very much. Remember, I always like the way, and all you have to do